Hi everyone, this is Jason from Metal Flesh. Today I'm going to try to rank the entire Kreator discography, including the latest release, Crashes of the World. I'm going to try to rank them between the Get in the Bin tier and From Here to Eternity. Right, let's kick things off with Endless Pain that was released in 1985. This is a raw, violent debut that sits halfway between speed metal and early thrash. The production is crude, the riffs are frantic, and Mille Petrosa's vocals are not that great. They haven't picked yet. The album feels chaotic and aggressive, but it still manages to capture the spirit of the early German underground sound. Highlights here will be Total Death and Tormentor. To me, this is a solid B release. This is followed quickly by the release of Pleasure to Kill in 1986. This is a genre-defining album. It's furious, it's relentless, and brutally fast. Pleasure to Kill pushed thrash metal into extreme territory, directly influencing death metal and parts of the black metal genre. The riffs are savage, the drumming is violent, and the vocals sounds hostile. Highlights for me will be Under the Guillotine and Riot of Violence. For me, this is a solid From Here to Eternity release. Terrible Certainty sees the light in 1987. Kreator here begins to refine their songwriting without losing aggression. The riffs become more technical, the structure's tighter, and the band sounds more disciplined while retaining speed and violence. This album marks a transition from pure savage sound to a more controlled precision. It's more structured than Pleasure to Kill, but slightly less overwhelming. Highlights will be As the World Burns and Blind Faith. This drops to an A tier. Things are followed with Extreme Aggression in 1989. I believe this is like the golden era of Kreator, as they released a landmark thrash album with cleaner production and sharper execution. The songs are memorable, the riffs iconic, and the aggression is fully controlled. Lyrically, Mille becomes more political and socially aware. This is often seen as Kreator's most accessible classic era release, as stated earlier. It's less chaotic than the earlier albums. The highlights here will be Some Pain Will Last and Betrayer. For me, this is a From Here to Eternity, and it goes in front of Pleasure to Kill only by a fraction. Coma of Souls see the light in 1990. Extremely polished and precise and confident album. Coma of Souls balances speed, groove, and melody, resulting in one of the band's most consistent albums. The production is also clean. It's slightly less aggressive than the previous album, but it compensates with strong hooks and pacing. It's more controlled and accessible than Extreme Aggression. The highlights here will be Terror Zone and People of a Lie. For me, this drops to an A tier right here. Things are followed by Renewal. What can I say about this album? It's a bold shift in the Kreator sound. Renewal incorporates industrial elements, slower tempos, and experimental textures. Mille has also changed his singing style, which it takes away from the magic of the songs. The entire atmosphere is dark and mechanical, but it's an inconsistent album. They tried something new, didn't really work. Renewal has a few highlights, quite a few fillers. Highlights will be Renewal and Karmic Will. For me, this drops to a D tier. 95, we see a cause for conflict. This is a return to aggression after renewal, but the result is a mixed bag. The album is fast and hostile, yet the songwriting lacks the memorable riffs of the earlier releases. Production and band chemistry also feels strained. Comparing this to Renewal is more aggressive but less inspired than the classic Kreator era. Highlights will be Lost and Prevail. This also comes up to a D tier. Outcast comes out in 1997. It's a melodic, dark and introspective album. Kreator continued to explore the dark atmosphere and melody, moving further away from the traditional thrash sound. The album has some strong moments, but lacks consistency. It's more melodic than Cause for Conflict, but it still feels a little bit unfocused. I do visit this quite a bit, to be honest. Not their best release. Highlights will be Black Sunrise and Phobia. This still comes to a D tier. Endorama sees the light in 1999. The Kreator again makes another radical shift in their sound. This one is influenced heavily by Gothic. We hear Mille Petrosa's clean vocals and mid-paced songs. Again, they try to do something different. Although the songs are great, it's not Kreator. If this album was released under a different name, it would have been a better ranking album. Highlights will be Everlasting Flame and Endorama. Unfortunately, this comes to a D tier right over here. 2001, we've got an amazing comeback. Violent Revolution reclaims the thrash aggression while incorporates melodic elements from the 90s era. The riffs are sharp, the chorus is powerful, and Miller sounds re-energized and amazing. The album restores Kreator's reputation. Highlights for me will be All of the Same Blood and Violent Revolution. To me, this is a solid A release. Enemy of God comes out in 2005. It's modern, it's aggressive and extremely tight. The production is massive. Songwriting is focused. The band sounds hungry again. Kreator fully embraces the modern thrash without losing their identity. I believe this album overstates its welcome, to be honest. It has got a few filler songs. Highlights will be Voice of the Dead and Impossible Brutality. For me, this is a C tier. Sorry about that. Hordes of Chaos comes out in 2009. It's part 2 of Enemy of God. This is slightly more organic, raw, and I believe it was recorded live in studio with just a few overdubs here and there. The band manages to retain the aggressive, and the songs sound better, like there's a better songwriting. The filler side is slightly less than Enemy of God, slightly more raw production. Highlights for me will be Destroy What Destroys You and Hordes of Chaos. That comes to a C tier right in front of Enemy of God. Phantom Antichrist sees the light in 2012. It's a more melodic album compared to the previous releases. The band here manages to blend the thrash elements with epic songwriting and strong hooks. The band sounds confident and creative, balancing aggression and the atmosphere. It's got quite a dark atmosphere. It's more melodic and epic than Hordes of Chaos. Production is cleaner. For me, the highlights will be Death to the World and Phantom Antichrist. I believe this comes up to a B tier. Gods of Violence comes out in 2017. It's dark, heavy, and vicious. Kreator lean into brutality again, delivering one of their heaviest modern albums. The songwriting is focused and the aggression feels genuine. It's more brutal than Phantom Antichrist and less melodic. The highlights for me will be Satan is Real and Gods of Violence. For me, this comes to an A tier right here. Hate über Alles comes out in 2022. It's sharp, modern, with political urgency and strong energy. The band here hasn't reinvented the wheel. It's they just try to rehash the previous two releases. For me, this feels slightly forced, and every time I try to listen to it, it just didn't do anything for me. I don't revisit this very often. I don't listen to it at all. Highlights, I don't know, Become Immortal and Crush the Tyrants. For me, this is a get in the bin. I don't listen to it. I don't enjoy it at all. That brings us up to 2026 with the release of Crashes of the World. I believe the band tried to rehash the album releases from 2012 onwards with a melodic album. It does blend some of the thrash sound, less epic songwriting, and the choruses are quite big. They stick to your head. It just I don't know, I just really enjoy this album. It may be perhaps like one filler song so far. Highlights will be Satanic Anarchy and Crush of the World. I quite enjoy this album. At this moment in time, I'm just going to place it into a B tier. I'm just going to put it here. I'm sure I will revisit the entire Kreator discography in the next month or two and see if my ranking has stayed the same or not. This is it. Until the next time, stay heavy.